Hey everyone, this is Alex Milstein. I'm the editor-in-chief of Betting News Now, and this is Bet Ed Now, bite-sized bits of betting industry knowledge. Today, my guest is Joel Buhr. He is the founder and president of First Direct, which is a marketing and advertising technology agency that is working closely with the betting industry now. And so we are really glad to have him on the show to talk about marketing today. Welcome, Joel.
Well, it's very good to be here, Alex. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So marketing, I think, is a subject that just, can't talk too much about it.
Right.
Can't talk too often about it. And so one of the things that I've run into recently is, with store owners needing more traffic, they don't want to put as much into marketing because they don't have that traffic to get the money to put into marketing. However, everybody always says you have to market to get more traffic. So I want to know, your take on that and how can retailers feel comfortable spending on marketing when they're not necessarily bringing in as many customers?
Right. No, it really comes down to using data and strategy and having those two things work in harmony together. What we've seen is that same problem that you're sharing is that a lot of retail, and it's not just in the betting industry, we see it across a multitude of different industry spaces, flooring, home services, those types of things, where it's always that chicken before the egg thing, right? They want more business, but they don't want to advertise for more business unless they have more business. And so somewhere we got to start it. And so what we try to always do is solve that problem with data first. So you could affectionately call it data-driven door swings. So those door swings, if you don't have, especially we have different retailers of different capabilities budget-wise. Some of them have a very healthy budget that they can spend on advertising, but if we're talking about a lot of our 1 to 2 to 3, store owners, like that becomes a little bit more limited. And especially like right now, we're looking at unprecedented inflation. It's hitting a lot of different spaces in the market. You have your lower income tier of consumers; they're just not spending, right? Or they're very spending very seldom. So like how the question even on the middle income to high income is like, if we're getting less door swings now, well, how do we make up for that? Well, the strategy that needs to be implemented across marketing needs to be one of those things where you keep your foot steady on the gas, wherever that may be. And so the first thing we try to talk clients through is, hey, what's that steady budget? No matter what, we can keep going. And then let's shape the strategy around that. Let's be willing, though, to increase that as we see results from that strategy. Let's reinvest. And so going back to that data-driven door swing approach is we look at using data as the foundational piece of all the advertising channels. So that means that we don't just kind of knee-jerk react and say, well, I'll dump all my money on Facebook, or I'll dump all my money on Google, or I'm going to dump it all on radio or local broadcast, right? The
Yeah.
challenge there is measurement. You can't increase what you don't measure. And so where we start that approach is let's look at, for example, a retail store. Let's look at their local market. Let's identify where predominantly that traffic's going to be coming from anyway. And what's cool about how advertising technology has changed today is you're actually able to focus data as the targeting strategy across all those channels, including TV. So now we can tell, hey, was this consumer that just simply, just recently bought a $15,000 set from you, did that consumer get touched by TV? Did it get touched by direct mail? Did it get touched by Facebook advertising? So our strategy that we implement for a lot of clients that provides that technology is that custom audience strategy using things like geoframing and really starting though from the ground up of what's that foundational market that's going to be the 90% of all customers come from versus like, if, for example, in some larger metros like Dallas, that's a large metro. If you're on the south side, you're not going to advertise to the north side. There's plenty of people that need to sleep right around you. So much easier pull. So we've seen the same challenge. People don't want to do that. But what we've noticed though, when we implement that type of a strategy, we've seen numerous time and time again cases where we're able to now identify where no advertising was spent on a sale. Their ticket value was nearly half those that we actually were able to hit with multiple channels. So lower door swings, if we use data, we can up to, in many cases, double the value of the door swings coming in because of that marketing strategy.
Very interesting. Yeah, that's cool. That sounds very useful.
Well, yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want an increased value in a door swing, right?
Yeah. Very cool. So, yeah, I like what you were saying. Going back, you were saying, keeping your foot steady on the accelerator. I think a lot of people, when you say, you have to keep marketing, even though door swings are down, they think, you have to go full speed, you have to do everything. And,
Right.
it's really more of a strategy, deciding where to put your ad spend. So, let's talk a little bit about the brand Connect 360 that is under First Direct. You were telling me a little bit about how it can help the mattress industry. So I'd love to hear more.
Oh no, 100%. No, no. So again, I kind of a little bit for those that are watching, First Direct, we're a marketing and advertising technology company, and we have a full in-house agency. On our technology side, we have our platform Connect 360. And simply what it does, this is again, when we talk about marketing, again, there's always a gap between tracking things, automating things, the follow-up, those types of sequences, right? And getting, centralizing the intelligence, you could say, of you have all these marketing strategies. Well, like if you're serving digital ads, where are you going to push those to your website? Well, that seems logical, but it's actually not the best practice. Best practice to get the most impact is to be able to serve them to things like landing pages and those things. So our Connect 360 platform, and individuals can find more information at connect360.app. App. But our Connect 360 platform is an all-in-one AI powered marketing platform. It helps you build everything from or handle things like reputation management, listing management, SMS, missed call text back, web chat, all utilizing AI across all those steps, and also can be much more. It can be your email marketing platform, your CRM, your phone system. So it's got a lot of robust functionality that's there to provide a more cohesive benefit to the retail store where their RSAs can all use their phones to make calls, follow-ups, SMS, book appointments, and those types of things. Even send things like follow-up videos and pictures and all of those things across channels to build the relationship with the consumer that's coming into the store. And for the store owner, it allows you an easy way to actually see what's going on from call activity to traffic activity and make some real decisions to say, hey, is my needle moving? Is the activity there? Because when we talk about marketing, marketing is one side of it. But then, of course, at some point, there's that baton pass to the RSA. And that RSA needs to pick up on activity or else all the money's wasted on marketing.
Yeah.
So the Connect 360 is a great solution. It's a very affordable, robust platform that the betting industry is already using now. And so there's a lot of collaboration that we're doing with a number of other folks within the betting space to really make it even a more robust solution for individuals out there. It's a tool that's going to speed and amplify growth within a retail store.
I think this is a really good example of how artificial intelligence AI can help store owners, run their stores a little more efficiently, effectively,
Right.
without having to, put their hands in every single part of it at all times.
And that's exactly it. Or give them that ability to have all these pieces moving, but a central place to actually see it. One of the beautiful things we always try to do for each retail client when we onboard them is get the dashboard within their functional so that way they can see things going on Facebook, on Google Analytics, within their social posting. And then also too how they can integrate that AI into a good conversational bot, not only on social engagement, which is some pretty cool stuff, responding to comments and engaging the conversation, but also web chat and Google My Business Chat and SMS across all channels basically have a unified tonality
Mhm.
that the store owner can make sure is being consistent. So then you never have a gap there. Like for a consumer, let's just face it, anytime we're shopping for a product, if we want to get some information on something and no one responds, we go on to the next business.
Mhm.
That you're looking for a place to eat, you call, no one answers, you're going to the next place that's on the list to get a seat. And the same thing happens no matter what the product is with consumers. They're looking to solve a problem. And so the more that we can speed up that process to help that retail store capture the attention and start to solve that problem in the eyes of the consumer and actually legitimately start to solve that problem, the higher the retention and the stickiness of that consumer is with that retail store.
Very, yeah, that's cool. A lot of really great information here. So, I'd love to wrap up with, you being an expert marketer. What is something that you see retailers doing wrong in marketing that they can, easily fix?
That goes down to consistency. That's actually a long-term thing too. But the consistency would be if they're currently doing marketing and they kind of do that last minute decision of what I would say the first thing they can do is let's stop. Let's get you a game plan built for the next 6 months, next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and let's work you into this. So if they're watching this right now and they're like, well, we just run some Facebook ads or some Google SEM ads or those types of things. Let's put a pause on it. Let that run a little bit, but let's put an actual plan together and start looking at what that implementation looks like and work into that and start putting those mechanisms into tracking those things right away. So the first thing that they can start today is they can start the plan. What's my consistent budget that I can actually use each month? And then start to wrap around, like, let's approach this from a multi-channel standpoint. In other words, different channels of advertising. There's other simple things. It really is also too getting the RSAs involved in the process as well. Because if you have I've heard too many times, like, the store decides to run a promotion and the RSAs never know. They don't know. They literally, like, you ask the RSAs, well, how do you find out what's the sale? Well, the consumer tells us. I literally just heard that last week. The customer, they call in and they tell us actually what special they saw. That's a horrible way to do it, right? If
Yeah,
the consumers ever caught on to that, like they'll make up the specials.
it's
Right.
true. Yeah.
It's just insane. The first thing, let's put a plan together. Second thing, I would say, let's look at your brand house. Let's make sure that the message that's being delivered out there, what is that message? And does it resonate with the consumers you're trying to get in? Each store has some different nuances. And then the third thing really is starting an ongoing strategy of social engagement and reputation management. So asking for the reviews, those things, just some basic things of starting to get, some basic groundwork there will actually start to generate leads right away overnight. That's what we see a lot of times with our marketing technology platform. That's why we always start there with a client, is because if we can stabilize that out, they automatically start to see a return on investment overnight.
Definitely. Cool. Well, that's some awesome advice. I think that'll be really helpful to people listening. So thank you for coming on the show today, Joel. I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing your expertise.
You bet, Alex. My pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.